guys, welcome back to another episode of I Am I. My name is Joshua Ansley, and today, surprise, surprise, we're going to talk about gratitude, right? So, gratitude. It is one of the most powerful weapons that we have, okay? So it's very obvious, it's Thanksgiving, everybody's talking about gratitude, and it is, yes, kind of a shame that we need one day set aside to be grateful, and one day set aside to remember love, or one day set aside to remember to honor our mothers or some shit, but at least I guess we have these days, right, to bring us in those directions. So on this day we can focus on gratitude. But gratitude is really a powerful shift in perspective, and it's not just something, so initially we start in taking gratitude to learn to condition the mind to move into a separate direction, right? To say, hey, like if the shit's bad, what can we focus on? Can we focus on the good because we're gonna head in the direction that we're going, right? And an idle mind is the devil's playground. So if you're not actually guiding the mind into a space, into a particular space, then the mind is gonna go to shit. And just naturally, it's gonna be the tendency, it's gonna go to shit, right? And so we have to be able to guide the mind into those spaces, particularly in those tough times. Let's move into these better, more positive spaces so that we can actively raise ourselves to a higher vibrational frequency. Because remember, all suffering is not caused by the world, but how we relate to it. So when we start taking personal responsibility for our energies, for our emotions, for the way we're operating, for why we're operating the way we're operating, everything shifts, right? The world doesn't need to change. So gratitude in a space of remembering to go to the things that we're grateful for instead of just focusing on the negative. So that's a major shift there, to just be like, well, there's always going to be shit anyway, so let's go to the positive. But here's the thing, as we get deeper and deeper into really, deep into that fucking rabbit hole of spirituality, right, we get into a space of understanding gratitude, not just for the things that we're easily grateful for and shifting into a perspective of remembering those things, but having gratitude for all the crap, for all the shit, for all the tragedies, for all the darkness. See, here's one thing I want you to recognize. The darkness doesn't know what to do with itself when you become grateful for it, all right? When you start fighting hate with love, it's a totally different ballgame. We don't fight fire with fire. So when you start actually being grateful for all the crap in your life, for all the tragedies, for all the devastation, for all the pain, for all the suffering, for all the sorrow, that's half the fucking game right there. Because now none of that has control over you. It's not weighing you down. So it is a practice. It is a very difficult thing to do. But truly, I'll tell you, most of us would not want to be enlightened. Everybody thinks, of course, sure, would want to be enlightened. That'd be great, a self-realized human being or whatever. Or maybe you don't fucking think that. I don't know who the hell's watching this shit. But, I think that some of us in the practice or in doing this work would be like, yeah, enlightened would be great. But really? Really would we want to be enlightened? It takes so much fucking work. And if you watch the way enlightened people really respond to shit, it's like when my boy JC, right? When his mother came up to him and he was like, I have no mother, I have only a father up in heaven. Ask me, that was actually kind of a fucking douchebag thing to say to your mother. But he's coming from a completely different perspective. Not because he was the son of fucking God. And he's no more the Son of God than any one of us. We are joint heirs with Christ. It is inside of you too, right? But to really be an enlightened person, to really function from that complete shift of understanding that you are God, that is inside of you, that you are that wholeness and that completeness, that you are that relationship of connection to all, that there is no separation, but also there is the separation as well. When you can have both of that, when you can have both, which is singularity, when you can have the duality, which is the singularity includes the duality. Get it? Probably not. Okay, so what was I saying? So when you can have gratitude for these dark spaces, right? When you can actually move into that space of having gratitude for all the crap, that's when the shift really starts to happen. So there was this sage, I don't remember his name. Let's go with Homer Simpson was the sage's name. Homer was the sage, and he was like this really totally devoted sage, and he was absolutely grateful for everything, was completely devoted to God, but he had elephantitis of the leg. You know, when you get the fucking big blown ass leg, right? So he had elephantitis in his right leg. And a deity, I don't remember which deity, so let's go with Jerry. Jerry, the deity Jerry, came down and was like, you've been so devoted, I want to give you a boon. And the sage was like, but I don't need anything. I have everything that I need. I am completely whole and fulfilled already, because he knew he was not his body. He knew he was not his mind. He was not a slave to his own likes and dislikes, the raga and dvesha. He was not stuck in the kleshas and the obstacles to spiritual growth. And he was like, I have everything that I need, Jerry. You give me everything that I need. I don't need anything else. And Jerry's like, come on, dude, what are you talking about? You have freaking elephantitis in the right leg. He's like, yeah, but it doesn't even fucking matter, dude. I'm totally cool with it. Get it? I'm grateful for having a leg for it in order to be elephantitis-ized. I don't know what that is. Yes, elephantitis-ized. So he's like, and it's a complete different shift in perspective. Can you imagine being in a space where it really doesn't fucking matter? And Jerry's like, dude, you're fucking ridiculous. I get it, but come on, man. I got to give you this one boon. So what do you want? And Jerry and Homer was like, all right, switch my elephantitis to the other leg. I get it. It's kind of stupid. But can you imagine being in a space where it didn't matter? Where the world didn't fuck you up that way? Right? Where the sorrow, where the pain, where the tumult, where the tumultuous shit of this life didn't fucking destroy you. Why? Because you have a gratitude practice. Because you can be grateful. And I'm not talking about finding the silver lining. I'm not talking about just finding the thing that you can be grateful for and seeing, oh, I'm grateful for all the things that it teaches me. No. Can you be grateful not knowing what it's teaching you or not knowing what it is? Because the truth of the matter is, here's the real truth of the deep spirituality of it. The world is exactly as it needs to be. It's a law of cause and effect. There is a reaction for every action. There's a reaction, right? It's science. And everything is happening exactly as it needs to be. As fucked up as that sounds, because the world is fucked, but it is exactly where it needs to be, right? And it's because you don't have all the information. You don't have all the information of why it needs to be this way. So in your likes and dislikes, in your raga and dvesha, you're like, this is awful. It's not awful. For the things that have already done, it does not mean that we allow ourselves to be abused, or we don't stop or take action from that space of gratitude to then stop the horrors and the atrocities in the world. That's not what I mean. It's just like, well, it happens. No, fuck that. So don't misunderstand me. I'm talking about what has already happened, which is that moment's gone. That had already happened. It's exactly how it needs to be. Where we are right now is exactly how it needs to be. And if you could be grateful for everything that is given to you, everything that has been taken away, and everything that has been left behind. It's the story of Job. It's the story of Job where everything is just ripped from him and the devil is just trying to push and prod him, the fucking devil. You know what I'm grateful for? I'm grateful that I am not slowly bleeding to death on a cross out here in the fucking cold. That's what I'm grateful for. That I don't have to fucking be a martyr. Right? I'm grateful for everything, all of it. Every little fucked up, shitty piece of it. When you can do that, that is freedom. Do you get that? When you can actually be grateful through all of it, you are free of those fucking ties. It no longer controls you, and you find freedom with gratitude. In the Kesher Lakin, I am you, you are me. Namaste.
She's a modern yogi, she loves to stand up on her hands. Yes, it feeds your ego, that's exactly what she needs. Now tell me, why the hell do you give a damn? So pardon elocution of my Sanskrit declension, termination, and know whatever that means. But I know when she's in the Prasarita Pada Tanasana, she's the hottest asana that I've ever seen. She goes